focus. This week I was thinking of the promise that God gives us, and one promise in particular which is found in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 11 to 12. And it says, "When you're brought before synagogues, rulers and authorities, don't worry about how you will defend yourself or what you will say, for the Holy Spirit will teach you at that time what you should say." This promise is reiterated again in chapter 21, verse 15. And Jesus is saying this to his disciples under the context of them being brought before opposition, brought to a place where they encounter trouble for preaching the gospel. But I think this promise is given to us all, and I don't think being thrown into a prison cell is a prerequisite for God providing words and wisdom. Rather, I think the prerequisite is finding ourselves in that place of need. It's a cool concept, this idea that words will be given in your time of need, but first, you have to bring yourself to that place of need before they'll get there. Definitely a scary thought, and it's easier said than done, and more often than not, we find ourselves in this place of need unintentionally. But what if we saw this as an opportunity to act upon our professed faith and bring ourselves to the place where we need God to show up or we're in trouble, to that place where we are fully relying on God? And in case you're wondering, that place is located just outside your comfort zone. So today I thought I'd do something a little bit different and share a story of one of my experiences where this promise was fulfilled. In this story, it happened in India. I had an opportunity to travel there with Ron on a trip along with Norm and my sister Madison, and so many amazing things happened on this trip, but in order to keep this from becoming a 30-minute focus, I'll try to give you the short version. During our first week, one of the main things we did was visit churches. We visited churches in many different villages, churches in people's homes, churches where we had to hike up to the top of a mountain, and even a church that was built in a garbage dump among the community that was living there. And although these churches were all so different, what we did when we got there remained very much the same. Firstly, they all treated us like royalty. They're such hospitable people. They would put a flower garland around our neck. They'd seat us in the front, and I don't mean front row, I mean facing the congregation. We would worship together, and then they would want us to speak and encourage them and then pray for them. And boy, when you're up there, do you ever feel humbled and unworthy, because you just know that these people have so much more faith than you do. But we did it over and over again, and one by one we would each share with them a Bible verse and do our best to encourage the congregation. And it wasn't like we just said the same thing each time or had a prepared script. There was no recycling verses. At each church, we just shared what was given to us. And from my own perspective, it was amazing, because I'm definitely not one who has excelled in memorizing verses, even less knowing where to find the verses. But they would just keep popping into my head, and I just knew where to find them. There was even one time where Norm was speaking just before me, and he shared the same verse that I had thought to share. I had my finger tagged in it. So I had like 2 minutes to figure out what to say. And I didn't feel rushed or panicked. I was at peace. I just knew I was right where God wanted me, and another verse instantly came into my mind. And it was absolutely God showing up and providing for me in my time of need. See, we are all meant to tell the world what God has done for us. We're meant to glorify Him. And this week, I really hope to encourage you all to push yourselves to seek out opportunities to glorify God and share about what He's done in your life. And that will mean going to the scary places, to the places where things are no longer in your control and you're in over your head, where you need God to bail you out, or you're going to be in trouble. Places that you can't get to without faith. And places that if you have faith, you can't keep yourself from going to. It's not easy, but I promise it's worth it, and God does not disappoint. So this week, praying for you all. God will direct you. I just hope you all have a great week.